All right, all right. We are going live today with Ayaz Hussain. Welcome, welcome. Everyone, say hi in the chat. If you're here, us a thumbs up because we are going to be dropping some nuggets of wisdom today with Ayaz. And Ayaz, thank you so much for being on today.
Thank you so much, Jess. I appreciate you big time. I'm just giving it a quick plug on my Instagram as well right now.
Do it. Yeah, do it. Follow Ayaz for sure. He drops nuggets left and right. And I'm going to brag on him for a second as he does that because he's got a lot to say. We're going to talk about how to go from 0 to 100K Spotify streams through the power of social media and storytelling. No ads. No ads. That's really what he prides himself on. And, you know, at the end of the day, we as musicians, I think we want to make an impact with our music. We want to get our music out there. But a big thing that I see people struggling with is the social media stuff. Like, yeah, 100%. And it's like, okay, if I do it, is anyone even going to listen? Is anyone even going to do anything about it? So I think you're the perfect person to talk about this because you've consulted for over a decade with music brands and labels like GRM Daily, SB TV, Sony Music, Relentless Records, TuneCore UK, Amazon, Top Plus 44, and more. So I don't know if I said that right, but
Yeah,
I did. So, and you've generated over 18 million Spotify streams and 25 million YouTube views for independent artists through your private coaching and digital courses. And you go everywhere across TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. You empower artists with fan growth strategies, streaming strategies. You featured in your book Two Types of Fans, which was released in 2022 on Amazon and Audible. So you can go check that out there. And you really bring really valuable insights around song planning, content creation, mindset development, and to mold smart artists. I like the rhyme. I like the rhyme. So, and you're very holistic about it. I love that approach. You know, you're very genuine. You're very open about what you do. You're the real thing. So I'm excited to dive into this. Let's equip artists together.
Likewise, I can't wait. Fire anything at me. Anything. I work best under
All right.
pressure.
And I'll go back and forth between looking at Facebook and Instagram comments. Oh, Latasha, welcome, Latasha. Owen Evans music. Okay, Care Bear. All right, this is awesome. We're going to talk about social media strategies when it comes to being an artist. So, Ayaz, first of all, what got you started in what you do now? Was it like, oh my gosh, artists have no idea? what was the thing that drove you to be like, no, I need to help artists with this, with what they're doing in their music? Like what drives you to keep going and help artists with
I
this?
love that.
Yeah.
So before I wanted to serve others, I had to serve myself.
Yeah.
And so I was 18 years old and I wanted to just work in the music industry some way, somehow.
Yep.
And so I tried every department you can think of at a record label. I tried A&R, I tried PR, I tried compliance, I tried regulatory, went over to marketing, and I kind of found myself there.
Yep.
And every single time I just wanted to sponge and sponge and sponge from the people I was working with.
Yep.
And as a young person, they would just say, oh, take care of that social media stuff for us. Update our Facebook page and update our Twitter account for us. And I made it my personal mission that if I was going to work for somebody, I was not only going to maintain their growth, but I was going to smash it. I was going to show double-digit growth, and they would be impressed. Wow, you did this for us in just 1 month. Let's keep you on. Let's hire you for real as an internship into a paying job.
Wow.
That was my mission. And then I had 4 failed businesses before I started this business. So I was a blogger, but I had, a growing following, but couldn't monetize my blog. Then I had a magazine and again, did amazing interviews, but couldn't sell publisher space to have advertisers buy the pages.
Yep.
Then I started a record label and a SoundCloud, small record label, and a radio show with a friend. Again, built a big audience, but couldn't monetize it.
Yeah.
And often in that process, musicians would come to me like, help us design a rollout plan. Help me market the song. and I didn't feel qualified to be able to do that. And they said, but anything will help. And over the course of that journey, I found the confidence. Like, I have done so many mistakes and gotten it wrong so many times.
Yeah.
Know what not to do, and that helps you decide what to do.
Same.
So you learn the game of social media by, making so many mistakes that didn't get any noise. You then reverse engineer the steps that did make some noise,
Yeah.
and that becomes the basis of the beginning of my journey, really.
Yeah. That's great. So you made the mistakes yourself, and now you're here helping artists shortcut their progress, be more efficient
Absolutely.
with what they do, right? So
So even in my work with branding, sorry to just jump in there, like when a brand comes to me like, what shall we do? I'll tell them things that I've experimented with my personal brand, all about helping
right,
musicians,
right.
and say, this has already worked for me. I've got the data points to say, you should do this now. Because I like to be early to the party.
You do. I mean, and you are all about the data. That's what I love about you. You're like, let's look at
Bless.
the data. You're so good at that. Because some of us are data people and some of us need help with it. So, you're naturally that way, naturally gifted. You bring the structure, and you use the facts to make a educated prediction. Because I think that's a lot of the fear of social media from artists that I've heard from. It's like nobody's going to listen. I don't know if it's going to be worth the effort, right? And if you look at the data, it's going to be worth the effort. And if you actually learn from what doesn't work, right? Like give yourself the
Absolutely.
grace, to just be like, okay, that didn't work. Let me do something else. Like it
I
works.
had this I had this mathematics teacher back in like the 5th grade, and he always used to say a Benjamin Franklin quote. And he's like, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Yeah.
Right. And so how I've always thought of things is, you make a social media calendar for
Mhm.
exactly what you're posting on what day. This is what any company will ask you for.
Right.
And so they want to know what's on their Twitter account for the next 3 weeks. So you make a plan, and you don't give up on the plan until you finish the plan.
Yes.
What so many musicians do is they get
Yes.
6 days into a 6-week plan and say, it's not working.
Oh,
I can't be
anybody?
bothered. Yeah. And
Yeah.
so I'm like, nah, you cannot make that decision until you've done all
Yeah.
6 weeks once. And then you have the feedback to say it didn't work. 6 days
Yes.
in, you're barely beginning your process.
Yeah. You don't have you don't have the data yet. Like completion to
Exactly.
the data, right?
Yeah.
I love that. And so I know I can relate with that because it can be very discouraging. It can be a mind game, social media. Uh,
100%.
so how do you encourage artists through that to keep going, to be resilient?
I think there's 4 different areas, right? I
Yeah.
think there's skill set, there's tool set, mindset, and heart set.
Mm,
And so if you think about it, skill set is the accumulation of different areas of the industry that you get good at. You get good at filming something, you get good at editing something, you get good at lighting something, you get good at learning a new skill. Then there's the tool set, like which software are you using, all the little tactics within the software that you can do advanced features. Some you have to pay extra for, some are on the free version.
okay.
Mindset is what you think. So
Yes.
mindset and motivation is not that consistent, because it can go good days and bad days.
Right.
But heart set is actually the internalized thing of why you're doing this.
Yeah.
And my heart set comes from my grandfather. So his name was Aftab Hussain. I'm
Okay.
named after him. My name is
Yeah.
Ayaz Hussain. And so I'm named after my grandfather, who was the most helpful man that anyone ever knew. And so I
Mm,
feel like it's my purpose on this planet to help every artist out there, because I wish that when I was 16 years old as a DJ, I wish a big brother could have helped me.
oh,
And so I
you're
am trying to
totally the big
become,
brother.
I'm trying to become the man I needed in
Yeah.
my own journey. And that's my reason for being. So an artist, if you have the right heart,
Yeah.
then you can get the right mind. If you have the right mind, you can
Mm,
pick the right tool. If you have the right tool, you can stack up the skills. But if your heart is corrupted and blackened from it, and you're trying to be rich and you're trying to be famous and you're trying to, prove your circle wrong, you're
mm,
not going to get very far. But if you're trying to have all your friends on your team be with you when you're on that global tour and you want to feed the whole neighborhood,
Right.
How could you not win? Like, how
Right.
could it go wrong when your intentions are so pure? That's how I
Yeah.
think.
Oh, I love that. I never heard anyone talk about heart, and I think it's so important. I mean, I allude to it in what I say, but I love how you just plainly put it out there. Like, have the right heart,
Have the right heart.
have the right mind, and then you'll have the tools that will back it up.
I
Because
think like going to the gym, if you don't feel like going to the gym, you won't. But if you discipline yourself and you say, I have to go to the gym, it's not even an option, you'll go. And it's the same with this music game. Like, I'm a parent, I couldn't not feed my kid. Right? I couldn't.
right,
I don't feel like earning money this month. I'm not gonna take care of the bills. You don't have a choice.
right,
And so
right.
if you have the right heart and the reason why you're doing it, nothing can ever stop you.
Yeah,
And there are negatives that you hear at musicians who go on tour, like Louis Capaldi, like Amy Winehouse. There are serious burnouts that can happen if you don't listen to your heart, right?
yeah.
But I think on the most part, when your intention is laser focused, nothing can stop you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and there's an aspect of having the right people around you, because I have had friends on tour where they're like, I'm losing my voice. And they're like, that's nice. Like,
Yeah.
they don't even care. It's like, wow. Like having that community and that circle around you, like me, like, like the communities that we're building right now, to be sustainable, right? If you're in here for the long game, if you're an artist that's chosen this life, like you've got to have the right people around you too. And I think that's one of the advantages of having a coach is like, no, this is especially like you who has the right heart. It's like, I'm sure there's corrupt coaches out there too, but for the most part, the coaches that I know, they are open-hearted. They are truly 100% in helping the artist.
Absolutely.
And it's just so powerful to have your team,
You
right?
know, you see this when a musician, they stop posting the minute they haven't got any product to market.
Yes,
So
yes,
really, they're not trying to
absolutely.
serve the fans. If they say, "Oh, there's nothing in it for me right now. I don't need any views or any streams. I'll just go into ghost mode."
I'll go blank. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Whereas the true artist be like, "No, to thank you for promoting my single with me,
Yep.
here's a cover. Here's a BTS. Here's some gift that I want to give you for being real and showing love. Like I
Mhm.
want to give before I ask." And
Yeah,
I often think about that exchange of like, can you give 5 times more than you ask, right?
that's
And how
great.
can you truly like say this is all for you, but I'm going to ask you to pre-save, but hopefully I've given you enough love and value that when I ask, you actually listen.
Yeah, exactly. And that connection piece to the fan base, right? If an artist is struggling with like having that time. I mean, some artists have lots of time, and so they're like, just tell me what to do, Ayaz, and I have the time. So maybe you could speak to that artist as well. And then you have the artist who's like, I'm overwhelmed. I have so much in my life going on. How do I keep that connection going even when so many things are happening? Like there's graduation season right now, and
Yeah.
there's like so many things happening. You got to do our laundry, so maybe you can speak to the artist who has lots of time to put in, and you have a plan for that, obviously, but maybe you can speak to the artist who feels a little overwhelmed right now as well.
I love this. So I'm a busy person. So I have 9 to 5. I have my own 18 clients. I have my own podcast, and I have
Yes.
2 other side businesses that I'm working on. And
Woo.
so how I started to think about, I don't have time to post on Instagram. I started thinking, but I have to. It is necessary to grow my brand. So
Yeah.
how can I be smart? So I started creating content while I was working. And so
Yeah.
if you're making a beat and if you are in the studio with a producer and a vocalist, leave a camera at the back just recording the whole session.
Yep.
So that way you can pick it up later, re-watch the footage and probably delete 97% of it. But that 3% is going to be perfect for your campaign.
Mm.
You did that for several months throughout the process of recording the EP. You got your whole BTS documentary done, and you just need a couple of edits. So
Ah,
you work while you're working.
smart
If you're
artist. Be a smart
a
artist.
smart artist, right? Instead of intentionally sitting down to record little Instagram content,
Yeah.
like while you're on your daily walk, just hold up your phone and video while you're walking.
Yeah.
While you're searching for sample packs, or while you're picking the right drum, or while you're warming up your vocals and drinking your honey ginger tea,
Yeah.
talk to the camera while you're doing that anyway.
Yeah. Behind the scenes, I've heard that is really big right now. Like, just like be real in your everyday life, right?
But you know, the problems I see, Jess, is artists
Yeah.
will say, I don't want to film any content, I haven't had my hair cut. I don't want to film any content, I'm in my dressing
Else.
gown. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't want to film
Yeah.
any content, I haven't done my makeup.
Yeah.
So that's on that artist to get your life in order, clean your bedroom so that it's content ready any time
Yes.
of the day. Get your lights going in a nice room where you don't have to move the furniture to create a setup. The tripods are there, the switches are there, you just flick them on and you're good to go.
Yep.
And when you are creating these systems of success, you can create a ton of content that I'm not even hitting my potential, and I feel like I'm outworking most of my competition.
Right. Exactly.
So that's why, if you're on the busy side of things. If you're on the
Exactly.
slow side of things, I
Yeah.
think you can show up more than anyone else does. You can do the 3-hour live stream because you have time. And instead of just looking at the screen and not looking at the phone, I would do the total opposite. I would say, I have these 3 samples. Which one shall I pick? Vote now. I have these 3 lyrics. Which one shall I pick and write the song about? Vote now.
Yeah.
You make the fans part of the process and they dictate what happens in the show. They're going to want to listen to the show.
Exactly.
And when the song comes out or when that content releases, they will tell everyone they know, I was the reason he wrote a song about pineapples. I was the reason they chose a tap in the bathroom as the snare of that song.
Yep.
Like, they'll feel involved in the record and they'll want to tell the world.
Yep, exactly.
That's my perspective.
That's a great reminder. That's a great reminder to get everyone involved in this process, because the artist road can feel like a lonely road, but it's only because we make it a lonely road. It's really not, because there's so many people who do want to be involved. We may have just never asked. So, with the person who has the time, you have all the strategies that they can implement. So if they want to get a hold of you and people want to follow you, can you say your Instagram to make sure everybody has that?
At social media, Ayaz everywhere.
Ayaz.
Social media, AYAZ. Yeah.
At social media, AYAZ. Yeah, you can follow Ayaz. He has so much content to create this 6-week plan, and you're going to be on the summit next week. We're launching a summit next week with 14 plus speakers. Ayaz is one of our speakers, and just the quality of the people in the room this time around. Oh my gosh. I mean, we've had great speakers in the past, but this summit is pretty amazing. The speakers that we have, we've got social media, we've got obviously with you, Spotify streaming strategies, we've got sync licensing, we've got sponsorships, obviously crowdfunding. How do you live a financially free artist life? And I think in some ways it has been gate kept if you're in the wrong circles, but if you're in the right circles, it's not. It's like free information, So
my take on it is that artists try so hard at the beginning to get numbers, they don't think of themselves as a business.
Yeah.
And they start to wonder, like, what will my friends think if I try and monetize? What will my fans think if I ask for money? And they make, an offer quite taboo. People saying, oh, they won't pay for that. They won't pay for that. And actually, if you, number one, figure out what people want, because they do not want your logo. They don't want your logo on a hoodie. They want something they can wear that's fashion. Right?
Exactly.
You figure out what someone's willing to buy, and it's usually access and closeness to you.
Yeah.
Right? If you would play video games with your fans, they would love to pay for that privilege. But if you're asking them to buy a vinyl when they haven't got a vinyl player, they're probably not
Right.
going to. Right. So if you give them the thing that they're craving, if it's a female artist, I've seen one woman say, I've made a tutorial video of my makeup tutorial. If you want it, subscribe to my community. And they give the things that people actually want, not the
Yes.
things that they want to share.
Yes. That's
And
so
you
big.
treat yourself like a business and think, okay, I grow an audience. What will that audience allow me to do? Is it to sell tickets? Is it to sell membership? Is it to sell merch? Is it to travel the country and meet new people? Like,
Exactly.
the goal isn't streaming. The goal is what you do with the numbers when you have the numbers. How do you build it into a business?
Wow. Yeah. And really, the thing is, the thing that I see at least, business is like a word, like a taboo word. Actually, businesses can be so beautiful and service oriented and genuine and connected, right? I think the biggest reason that artists shy away from it is because of the connection piece. They think business equals not connected, and in reality, it's the opposite. Business
100%.
equals huge connection, huge relationship, a relational aspect to it.
I love the way you said that, because even if you think someone's going to go to a diner, they're going to spend $15 on lunch. If they go to a nightclub, they're going to spend $30-40 on the night out. And so if you think I'm asking for a fraction of that for you to invest in my fandom, right? I'm asking for, I don't know, even I've done a guided meditation that goes along with my album. If you want it, it's $5. It's pay what you want if you have an offer-based system. Like, if you create the right thing, the fans will want it. If you create closeness to you, they'll want it. And I think you don't need to have this distaste for charging money as a musician. Like, it's a part of everyday life in every way. Whether you're going on holiday or buying something from the bodega, like, everything costs eventually. You might as well start figuring out what people want to buy.
Well, and even in today's world, with the economy the way it is, we still go out and want to reward ourselves for our hard work. We want experiences. We want to go to the movies. We want, even in down economies, entertainment actually thrives.
100%.
So
look at the pandemic.
Yeah, exactly. All the streaming networks, like why not be a part of that on even a small level? It's huge. And create experiences. Andy actually talks about this, one of my partners, about crowdfunding. He talks about experiences, and then services, and then of course merch is the thing we always think of with artists. But experiences are huge. So and by the way, I see everyone here. I see Clara. Clara says, such great advice. Santana, welcome. We've got David. We've got Tal. We've got Leisha, the voice coach in the UK. We don't know who he is, but he's the voice
shout
coach
out
in
to
the
Uncle.
UK.
Dave. That's family to me.
Oh, no way. Okay, it's so awesome.
Legend.
Legend. Okay, cool. We got Latasha. We got Owen. So welcome, everyone. Say hi if you're here. Do you have any questions for Ayaz, because he's here live? I mean, the summit is pre-recorded with a live aspect on Thursday, the 30th, 10 a.m. But he's here live. So do you have any questions for Ayaz? Again, he's an amazing, amazing social media marketing strategist, as well as helps you get your Spotify streams from 0 to 100K without even ads. So he knows it all.
Let's touch on two of those things.
Okay, go ahead.
One, we mentioned streaming services in the pandemic. So a philosophy that I have is that artists should treat their own social media like it's a Netflix show. So people come back like an episode a week for more and more and more.
Yes.
So that could be doing a freestyle or an a cappella cover on a set day of the week and asking people, which song shall I do next week? Right? That could be a kind of 3 or 4 part phasing. Here's verse 1. Next week, I'll show you verse 2. Next week, I'll show you the chorus. That could be almost a podcast about your album. Here's everything about track 1. Next week, I'll tell you about track 2. The week after, track 3. If you start to
Yep.
think of your content like a Netflix show,
Yes.
people are going to be gripping to want the next episode.
Yeah, that's great.
That's the first thing an artist can do. The second thing they can do is, when I say 0 to 100K streams with no ads, that sounds terrifying.
I know.
Let me break down the maths to show you it's not that hard. And so 100K monthly streams does not have to be from one song.
Okay.
100,000 streams will pay you around $500. A million streams will pay you around $5,000.
Okay.
If you think 100K, that could be 10 songs with 10,000 streams each.
Okay.
That could be 20 songs with 5,000 streams each. Or if you've got a huge catalog, that could be 50 songs with 2,000 streams each.
I love it.
And so you don't need a penny on paid ads when you have TikTok and when you have Instagram. Because if you make 6 weeks of content around one song, and at the end of that 6 weeks, you spend 2 weeks promoting your back catalog, you're going to grow new followers. They'll discover your old music, which is new music to them.
Right.
And it's that rinse and repeat system. When you are going to create a ton of content, they're going to go and stream the songs they've never heard, and they're going to really become your growing fan base. Yep. And month after month, it compounds and you start to stack. And in doing that, it's less about one song being on 100,000 plays. I want to make that very clear. It's the process of getting your catalog to consistently paying you £500 a month. Right. Times that by 12, that's $6,000 a year.
Wow.
Now, some people think, oh, that's not a lot of money. But actually, you're already releasing music for free.
Right.
And you're losing money by paying for music videos. You're paying for stylists and makeup artists, hiring cars, hiring video girls or video guys. You're paying for playlist promotion. You're paying for ads. You're paying for playlists and radio and all of that stuff. You're losing money. And how was the ROI? What you making back?
Nothing usually, unless you do a strategy.
10x down on social media content. All the other things will come your way.
Yeah.
Because when you make a ton of noise, the radio are going to play you anyway. When you make a ton of noise, they're going to blog about you anyway. And you won't have to pay. And my humble philosophy is you just kill it on social media and everything else comes your way.
So what's the first step?
The first step is a 6-week song release strategy.
Yes.
Because if you've never released, let's say you've got blank slate, you've never released a song. If you did 3 weeks of building the hype, release date, and then 3 weeks of driving traffic, take 2 weeks off to film new content, and then do it again, another 6 weeks. 2 weeks off to film content, another 6 weeks. If you keep rinsing and repeating that process, you will get 1% better every release. Right? If you get 1% better, by the time you've released your 10 songs or your 20 songs or your 50 songs, you will start to see the fruits of your labor compounding. Like, how could you not? Yeah, exactly. Well, especially when you stay consistent with the strategy that has already worked for many, many artists already. You've helped generate over 18 million Spotify streams. I mean, you're the go-to guy. You know how to do this. So you just have to actually listen and follow through, right? At this point.
The grace of God.
By the grace of God. Always.
Absolutely. Always by the grace of God.
So when some artists who came to me around the 300,000 streams per song mark, and they said, Yaz, I'm releasing an album. There's going to be 5 singles and then a 13-track project. Yeah. And so I'd say, okay, for each of those 5 singles, let's build a repeatable social media plan. So you're always doing the same actions in that process, such as listening to your song in the car with friends, such as doing a colors style performance, such as handing headphones to strangers in the street.
Yeah.
Things like that. If you did it for
Seen that one.
every single song, you'd start to get very good at those ideas.
Right.
Right. And then if you say, okay, I did it for 5 singles, and then when the actual album comes out, I'm going to make a really big deal and do a 2 or 3 weeks campaign around every song on a 10-track album.
Mm-hmm.
So you've almost got, guys, you've got 30 to 52 weeks of content essentially being mapped out if you follow a repeatable system.
Right.
If you try and have a billion ideas that you want to do each one individually, like, it will never work because you're reinventing the wheel rather than
Every
doing
time.
something that's proven. And
Right.
listening to a song in the car with friends always bangs on TikTok. And so you take an idea that's proven to work. Why would you try and do some experimental idea that no one's ever done before?
Right.
Just take the recipes that are tried, tested, and true, reverse engineer them, make them authentically you, uniquely you, and then roll from there.
Okay. So we can get your 6-day plan through the summit, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
That's
Every person at the summit is getting a free
Woo!
copy of.
This is free. So guys, it's free to sign up for the summit. All you have to do is put summit in the chat and I can get you the sign up. Ayaz is giving everyone who's at the summit a free gift of this plan, this 6-week plan that he's talking about. So definitely put summit in the chat and I can get that to you for free. Guys, it's free. This is like me and Ayaz are just, we want to give to you guys. So
100%.
this is exactly why we do what we do. We want to see artists.
I want to get back to Clara, if I may. Clara,
yeah,
I want you to ask all your friends who have cars, can I borrow your car for the afternoon? Please?
Nice.
Yeah. They can be in the video. The person who owns the car can be one of the 4 friends in the car with you. Just sit in their car, play it on the stereo, and all of you lot sing along to your song. If they're a real friend, they'll let you do that.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that's great. We got some summits in the chat. Yes, guys, you get Ayaz's 6-week plan. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I'm definitely applying it to my next release. I love your idea of borrowing the car. If you don't have it, go ask, right? I always tell people with this crowdfunding, with my crowdfunding, it's like, you don't know until you ask. Go ask. Yeah. You know, like, go get creative. Like, be inspirational in the world. Be an inspirational leader of impact. Exactly.
But we're not alone as artists. Like, you'd be surprised. Your siblings, your mom, your dad, like your cousin. Like, you'd be really surprised that people just want to see you win, see you happy, see you achieve your goals.
Yeah.
And they might be willing to take out a weekend to be like, okay, whatever you need, I'm your helper. You direct me. I'm a tool for you. Direct me in what I have to do, what time I have to show up, what I have to carry with me.
Yeah.
And you do your thing, and I will film it and make it happen.
See? Okay, so we're always like, I don't know if I have a videographer.
Exactly. Call a cousin.
Call a cousin. Amazing. Oh yeah.
Then you can have your boyfriend, your girlfriend, like whomever your partner is.
Yeah.
They could do it with you if you need.
Exactly.
Or if you don't have that, at least take a tripod and do it yourself. You can get them off $20 off Amazon for a tripod nowadays.
Exactly. Yeah, we have Clara saying, I'm applying it all as well. Yeah, she's like, I'm doing it in my next release. Ayaz's 6-week plan. Clara's going to do it. Go, Clara. Okay. Go, Clara. Welcome, Cosmic Worship. I see you join. We say Owen. Owen says Summit. Santana. One Head, Zan Music. Welcome. Care Bear. So yes, we have some amazing tools for you guys to really kill your next release. I mean, truly dominate. So aggressive.
You know, there's this phrase that I love hearing. You know, people say, what if it doesn't work?
Yeah.
I love the opposite. What if it did?
What if it did? Oh, that's
what if it
good.
did? Like, what if actually, if you gave it 1,000% and it actually went the way you truly wanted, how good would it feel?
Yeah.
And so I wouldn't want to leave anything to chance.
Yeah.
Like, if someone told me, someone could read the future and they said your 612th reel is going to go viral, how quickly would you want to get to 612?
Oh, so quickly. You'd be like, I'm doing
Exactly.
this. I'm doing
If
this.
you've got the if you've got proof from, you know, a future teller that
Yeah.
your future is going to be great, you just have to get through 611 no's until you get your first yes.
Oh, that's
I'd
good.
want to fly through it. 2 posts a day, 5 posts a day, whatever it takes. Because if you
Exactly.
want it that badly, like I saw this interview on TV, and there was a music lawyer being asked about a particular segment of the show, and he looked about 75. Jess, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
old man. And I
Okay.
was like, he's in his prime. I was like, I want to be coaching artists when I'm 70 plus years old.
That's so inspirational.
So that's the goal. Like, how will I not hit my 100,000 followers or my million followers if I'm willing to play the game from 33 to 70?
Yep. Yep.
Right? You will hit every milestone in your career with longevity.
Yes.
And that's my mindset. My heart set is I'm in it forever. And
Yep.
so I'm going to give, ask.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the way I'm thinking about my game plan for the next 4 years.
I love that. And you know, I think a lot of us, if especially if we have this scarcity mentality of like, I'm gonna run out or I'm not safe, like giving can be a big stretch, right?
For
It's
sure.
like you know, all these thoughts come with it, like I'm gonna nobody's gonna help me if they just get, you know, if I just give out. And those all come from stories we've made up about people, right?
Yeah.
And maybe very valid, you know, from our childhood or whatever it is. But in the end, if you know that giving works based on Ayaz, who has created 18 million streams, you know, look, it works. It works. Don't be scared. Like, I mean, I get that fear is a thing that you got to work through. Like there's, and I actually just want to mention BB Lee, who's also going to be on the summit. She helps artists work through fears, and it's really powerful how she does it. Yeah, she does uh, really just like alignment exercises to like help you get into focus. And not be all distracted from all the things that you could be doing. Like, how do you really get into focus and work through your fears? Because they're real. Like, they feel real, right? Fear feels real. But what I love, and I mentioned this before about you, is you look at the stats, you look at the facts, and there's no room for fear there. Like, it's actually very trustworthy. You
It
can
can
trust.
feel like, you know, all these anomaly artists are breaking at age 16, 18, 21. You know, you look at someone like Billie Eilish or a Justin Bieber,
Yeah,
and when you can feel old, you can be like, oh, I'm 25. They broke at 17, so I'm past my prime.
yeah,
And I think, again, that's trying to think of the unrealistic as the realistic. Like, those
exactly,
guys and gals were one in a million, and that's not everyone's journey. And then you see
exactly.
other people who they hit their prime in their late 30s, and they begin close to 40 years old. And
Mm,
you don't have to, if you don't want to, you don't have to say I need to be my millionaire by the time I'm X age. You can say
exactly.
it will happen, God willing. I'm going to put in that process, put in the work, and with good intentions and good karma will come back around.
Yeah,
Like, I
exactly.
don't I don't ever say to myself like I had to achieve everything by age 30 or I give up. Right?
That's good.
It's pressure. This is not real. And it's
Yeah,
all
it's
in your
not.
head. It's all in your head.
Yeah, it's not. I love it. Hey, Rob, welcome, Rob. Um, and I just want to say thank you, Ayaz, for dropping all the knowledge here. You know, you're a trustworthy person. You are you absolutely have integrity, credibility with what you do,
Gratitude.
and
And
so
likewise, in
thank you.
abundance,
Thank you.
likewise.
And abundance. Yeah. And I love that what we were able to create for artists is abundance. And really, that's the point of the summit coming up, the financially free artist. It's like, how do we become free? Like, free is actually a way of being, you know?
Yeah.
Money is just a tool to create that, but really it comes from us starting there and becoming that person doing the work. creating the things that we want to create. We're creatives, right? We can create it. We
Facts.
can create. We can create a presence in the world. We can create finances. All those things are for creatives, and
You know
absolutely
what?
doable.
To tell a little story, like
Yeah.
at one point in my journey, I felt shy of asking for £50 an hour to coach somebody, right?
Yeah.
And I'll give them 1 hour a week. And then I hit rock bottom. I went, the life happened, and you go from 10 clients, 5 clients, 2 clients, no clients, rock bottom. And
Yeah.
I started to map out, well, this isn't working as a system. People are not booking me by the hour. I'm going to pivot and change the game. And that's
Mm.
when I started researching on how many different ways there are for artists to make money. And streaming isn't the only one. It's actually one
No.
of the least profitable ones because
Exactly.
of the economics. If you think about gigs, that's an earning potential.
Exactly.
Doesn't have to be your name on the flyer. Could be you in a fancy restaurant playing the piano while customers eat dinner. Right? You don't have
Exactly.
to use your artist name to get paid. Right?
Yeah.
Then there's products, whether you make a sample pack or a vocal pack, or you write a little PDF book of how to warm up your vocals, and you sell a digital product.
Yeah.
Then there's affiliate. So you find an air humidifier that protects your vocals, and you get your own custom code, and you make a small percentage every time you sell the air humidifier. So the more reels you show protecting your voice, the more stories you show protecting your voice, and use your code, the more money you can make.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then you keep adding revenue streams in. These are just the ones that come to the top of my head. There's busking, then there's
Of course.
sync, then there's sync on top of that. Then there's literally writing songs for other people and selling the permission to them.
Yeah.
So you don't get credit on Spotify. You said, I've written you a chorus for your cereal brand. I've written you a jingle for your children's book. Just it's a flat fee of X amount of money. I don't want public credit. Don't link this to my artist account. Just pay me the money. And there are
Wow.
so many ways you can make $1,000 a month from music. If you think of all those combined, $100, $100, $100, $100, $100, it
Exactly.
eventually begins to stack up. So I love what you're saying about this financially free artist summit, because if your rent was 1,000 and you spend 40 hours a week at your job, if music could cover your rent, then your job is then your fun money.
Yeah.
Or the other way
Exactly.
around. If your job covers your rent, music is your fun money.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
life starts to get a bit more interesting when you have money to play with on the side.
It does. It does. Again, money is a tool. Money is a tool. You get to be that person that's free. And so, if you guys want access to what we're talking about, really, our goal is to create. Well, I can't speak for Ayaz, but I've been playing with the idea of legacy, right? The idea of legacy and creating a legacy and a mission in our life. Part of that is our music, and part of that is having the finances to create that mission, right? And so we as artists can create the things that we want to create. Technic Tone I see you. He's saying hi on I think it's YouTube. He's on YouTube. Welcome. Um, and so if you guys want access to number one, Ayaz's 6-week release plan, which again, he's created over 18 million Spotify streams, 25 million YouTube streams for independent artists. Definitely put Summit in the chat and I'll get you the link to the Summit because it's free. Ayaz is giving his 6-week plan away for free. So if you want access to that, put Summit in the chat and I'll be sure to get you that free plan. As well as we're having a lot of other speakers talk about how to become financially free, which includes mindset work, like I was talking about with BB. Chris Bradley is talking about production, why every artist should learn to produce. And, you put your production skills with Ayaz, I mean, you're a powerhouse. So Chris Bradley's talking about that. We've got Ill Factor, who is a Grammy award-winning producer, and he's worked with Justin Timberlake, Sia, Kelly Rowland. I mean, we've got some big names at this summit of people, and he's actually giving his production course for free at the summit. The whole course, like 60 videos or something like that, for free from a Grammy award-winning producer. So we've got some
That's fire,
amazing.
low-key.
I know
That
it's
is amazing.
fire. It's real fire. I mean, this summit is legit. So if you want access to the summit, it is free. All you have to do is put summit in the chat. I'll look at the chat a little bit later. And then also we've got Miriam Schulman talking about AI for artists, how artists can use AI.
I'm tuning in for that one.
Oh yeah, definitely tune in for that one, because I think a lot of artists are scared of AI at this point. It's like, oh no, what's the world gonna be with AI? It's happening on May 28th, Technic Tone. So May 28th, and they're pre-recorded interviews, so you can listen at your leisure, whatever time zone you're in. And then we're going to have pre-recorded on the 28th, the 29th, and the 30th. And then we're going to have a Q&A on the 30th at 10 a.m. PST. So definitely tune in for that. That's the VIP membership. But otherwise, the interviews are pre-recorded. So just put Summit in the chat and I can get you access to that. All right, Ayaz, thank you so much for coming on today. This was a fire conversation. Can't wait to play, post the replay on Instagram. The replay should be up on Facebook and YouTube already. So you guys, thank you for tuning in.
Thank you, Jess. I did nothing here. I'm just happy to always chat with you. Our second interview on the VIP program was some of my best work. So I can't wait for guys and gals.
Oh my gosh.
Hear that piece.
That's amazing. And you know what? I'm going to put the link for the summit in the chat right now. Because, yeah, I remember that interview. It was fire. So, Technic Tone, I'm sending you the link right now. You're welcome. You're welcome. Technic Tone, I just put the link in. Save the link, guys, in Instagram, because the Instagram one will disappear. So I'm going to put, I'm going to DM everyone too, but I'm going to put the link in right now so that everyone has it. And then I'll put the link on the replay as well. Okay, guys, thank you so much.
Thank you, Jess. I appreciate
yeah, you're so welcome. And unfortunately, the chat for Instagram doesn't save, so I'm just going to copy here a little bit so that I make sure I get back to everyone. So give me a minute here, and I'll do that. Ayaz, what are your parting words? What are your parting words to the artists?
On the spot. Definitely connect with me. I want to have conversations with every single artist who wants to help themselves. And so if you want to have a voice note conversation, if you need a pep talk, if you need a friend, hit me up at social media Ayaz, and I'd love to speak to you all. It's just something I just have a passion for, is helping artists who want to be helped.
Yeah. And sometimes you have to put yourself out there to say, hey, I want some help. And that can be really powerful, to be honest with yourself and say that. Yep. So thanks so much, Ayaz. I'm going to put the music on here so we can have a nice outro. Actually, no, we'll end it because I know you gotta jump off. So thanks so much, guys. Have an amazing day, night, wherever you're at. And